The feud between Norman Finkelstein and Alan Dershowitz is a long-standing and bitter one, dating back to the early 2000s. The two men are diametrically opposed in their views on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and their personal animosity has only intensified over the years. Finkelstein is a political scientist and author who is known for his outspoken criticism of Israel. He has accused Israel of war crimes and apartheid, and he has called for a boycott of Israeli goods and services. Dershowitz, on the other hand, is a lawyer and author who is a staunch defender of Israel. He has argued that Israel is a democracy that is committed to human rights, and he has accused Finkelstein of anti-Semitism. The feud between the two men began in 2003, when Finkelstein published a book called The Holocaust Industry, Reflections on the Exploitation of Jewish Suffering. In the book, Finkelstein argued that the Holocaust has been exploited by some Jewish groups for financial and political gain. Dershowitz was outraged by the book, and he accused Finkelstein of being a Holocaust denier. The feud escalated in 2005, when Dershowitz published a book called The Case for Israel. In the book, Dershowitz defended Israel's record on human rights and argued that the country is a victim of terrorism. Finkelstein responded by publishing a book called Beyond Chutzpah, on the misuse of anti-Semitism and the abuse of history. In the book, Finkelstein accused Dershowitz of plagiarism and of distorting history. The feud between the two men has continued to simmer in recent years. In 2016, Finkelstein was denied tenure at DePaul University, and he accused Dershowitz of playing a role in his denial. Dershowitz has denied the accusation, but the feud between the two men shows no signs of abating. The feud between Finkelstein and Dershowitz is a microcosm of the larger debate over the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The two men represent two very different perspectives on the conflict, and their personal animosity reflects the deep divisions that exist on this issue. Noam Chomsky has been critical of Alan Dershowitz's role in the feud between him and Norman Finkelstein. Chomsky has accused Dershowitz of launching a jihad against Finkelstein simply to try to vilify and defame him, in the hope that maybe what he's writing will disappear. Chomsky has also defended Finkelstein's scholarship, saying that he has carefully, judiciously, with extensive documentation exposed Dershowitz as a vulgar and fraudulent apologist for Israeli human rights violations. Chomsky has also said that Dershowitz is intelligent enough to know that he can't respond, so he resorts to name-calling and other personal attacks. In a 2005 interview with Democracy Now!, Chomsky said that Dershowitz's campaign against Finkelstein is an attempt to intimidate and silence critics of Israel. Chomsky also said that Dershowitz is one of the leading apologists for Israeli human rights abuses. Chomsky's views on the feud between Finkelstein and Dershowitz are consistent with his long-held views on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Chomsky has been a vocal critic of Israeli policies in the occupied territories, and he has argued that the United States should pressure Israel to end its occupation and respect the rights of the Palestinians. Here is a quote from Chomsky on the feud between Finkelstein and Dershowitz. Dershowitz is one of the leading apologists for Israeli human rights abuses. He is also a very intelligent man, so he knows that he can't respond to Finkelstein's scholarship on the merits. So he resorts to name-calling and other personal attacks. It's a pathetic attempt to intimidate and silence critics of Israel. Chomsky's views on the feud have been echoed by other scholars and activists, who have also accused Dershowitz of trying to silence Finkelstein and other critics of Israel.